So what is this saying? If I am apart from God, if I'm separated from God, if there's a chasm between me and God, I can't have peace. If God's not in the middle, if God's not there, there can be no peace. Isaiah said in Isaiah 48:22, there is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. And when Israel rebelled during the time of Jeremiah, the peace of God departed. And one of the Israelites said, we looked for peace, and there is no good. And for the time of healing, and behold, trouble. Jeremiah 14:19. Without God, people are out of step with eternity. Please understand, folks, as we go through this season, we will have traditionally on Christmas Eve, all wars stop. And folks stop shooting for one day. And then the next day they pick up where they left off. Because without God, there is no peace. We were in a terrible state. That we were cut off, we were trying to figure it out, we were trying to get connected and get close with God, and there was no way that we could be reconciled to Him, and there was no peace. There was no security. There was no way to know that you know that you know. Because without God, there is no peace. Okay, preacher, that's well and fine. What they got to do with anything? Christ offers us peace. And see, the problem with most folk, the reason that people can't get peace is that they want peace that they can understand. That's right. I want to say that again. Intellectually, we want peace that we can understand. We want to be able to dissect it and look at it and analyze it and figure out how it works, and it needs to fit into our neat box, and everybody fit into their place and their category, and everything is okay. The only problem with that kind of peace, what's peaceful for me may not be peaceful for you. You know, 50, 75 years ago, they had peace in the South. For white folks, it was peaceful. Wasn't that peaceful for us? Especially when we got out of where they thought we were supposed to be. In other words, as long as we stayed in our place, everything was okay. But if you stepped out of your place and stepped someplace or did something that they determined that you were not supposed to do, all peace went out the window. You see, human peace is conditional. If you do what I want you to do, if you stay where I tell you to stay, we're going to be all right. But if you cross this line, all bets off. Okay, preacher, that's well and fine, but what does Christ offer us that's so different than what the world offers us? You see, we have to understand that the world's peace is based on my thought, my belief, and my security in stuff. In other words, if I got enough money in the bank, I'm at peace. If I go to the doctor and get a clean bill of health, I'm at peace. If my children are acting like they're supposed to act, I'm at peace. All of that is conditional on things that we really can't control. We have an illusion of control, but we can't control it. Well, what about this peace that Jesus gives us? See, Jesus gives us peace, first of all, that you can't win on the battlefield, that you can't secure at the bank, that you can't regulate or legislate. He gives us peace that no matter what's going on around us, we have the peace of knowing that I am in step with what God will have me to be. Please understand, no matter what goes on around me, no matter what happens in this life, I have the peace of knowing that my Redeemer lives. I have the peace of knowing no matter how this turned out down here, I got somewhere to go. I have the peace of knowing that my name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and can't nobody drop a dime and say, you know, you ought to take Jones' name out the book. I have the peace of knowing that if I fall on my face, if people turn me out, if folk turn their back on me, that God said he'll never leave me or forsake me. I have peace. I remember a gentleman asked me one time, he said, KG, have you ever thought about if somebody just dropped you off in a city, someplace you've never been before, and you didn't have any money in your pocket, no credit cards, no nothing, you know, if they just dropped you somewhere and say, okay, you got to get on the best way that you can, do you think you could make it? And my response was, yeah, I'll just call my dad. It's no. You ain't got nobody to depend on. I said, well, you know, I'm sorry, I can't really relate to that, because I know I have the security of knowing that there's some folk out there who got my name, who look like me, that no matter where I am in the world, if I'm in a bad way, if I'm messed up, jacked up, on my last string, there's some folk who gonna come see about me.